Centuries, academics have argued over whether William Shakespeare's so-called lost play ever existed. It's believed to have been written in 1613, but there's no original manuscript. The Royal Shakespeare Company is now staging a reimagining of what is now called Cardenio, pieced together from various fragments of what's believed to be the play's source material. Here's our culture editor, Matthew Cain.
Oh, Cardenio! Oh, thy presence ends the stern debate of doubt and cures me of 1,000 heart-sick fears sprung from thy absence.
It looks like Shakespeare, it sounds like Shakespeare, and with a careful choice of words, it's even being marketed as Shakespeare. Sort of. The RSC is billing its new production of Cardenio as Shakespeare's lost play reimagined. And reimagined it has to be, because although there's some evidence that Shakespeare contributed to a play called Cardenio, no original copy exists.
Will you, Lady Lucinda, take the Lord Don Fernando, who is here present, for your lawful spouse?
O Lucinda, consider what thou dost. Thou canst not be another's, thou art mine.
I think that there's Shakespeare DNA in there. Every now and again, you feel a sort of whole lift in the quality of the language. There's an image, or there's a particular turn of phrase that makes you, it kind of gives you a tingle when you hear that.
Treacherous Fernando, here thou shalt pay. Death of my life.
My pretty mistress?
Yea.
It's believed that towards the end of his career, Shakespeare collaborated with John Fletcher on a play based on an episode from Don Quixote by Cervantes. The original manuscript for the play was never found, although in the 1720s, one playwright claimed to have a copy which he worked into a new play, Double Falsehood. For the latest production, this 18th century play has been amalgamated with extracts from the original Don Quixote.
You wed my body, not my heart, my lord. No part of my affection. Sounds it well. Cardenio's love is Lord Fernando's wife.
But not everyone is convinced that Shakespeare even wrote a play called Cardenio.
The play that they are performing is a mixture of an 18th century play by Lewis Theobald and some wonderful bits out of Don Quixote by Cervantes in its English translation, in its 1612 English translation. So they'll be feeling literature, but I doubt they're feeling Shakespeare.
How much Shakespeare do you think is in there?
Well, I'd say from 0 to 5%, if you want a number.
Today, the Shakespeare industry is bigger and more lucrative than ever before. But even during Shakespeare's lifetime, his success meant that his name was open to abuse by theatre impresarios who wanted to make more money by claiming his involvement or even authorship. And 100 years after his death, playwright Lewis Tybalt claimed that his play Double Falsehood was a reworking of Shakespeare's Cardenio, but with very little evidence. Are you not doing what Lewis Tybalt did and beefing up a very tenuous connection to Shakespeare just to wring more money out of Shakespeare's name?
Probably. I think there's enough interest in excavating all the corners of the Shakespeare hagiography to allow this as an experiment.
It probably should be Fletcher and Shakespeare's lost play at least, or Fletcher brackets and Shakespeare question mark brackets lost play, but that wouldn't sell so many tickets.
Just down the road from the theatre, an archaeological dig is underway at New Place, the house where Shakespeare lived for several years and wrote many of his greatest plays. It's hoped that for the first time in years, this dig will uncover hard evidence that will provide new insights into Shakespeare's life. Unless more is discovered about his work, so much will remain open to debate and interpretation. But perhaps it's this lack of historical evidence and the enigmatic quality of Shakespeare which are part of his huge appeal. Matthew Cain, Channel 4 News in Stratford-on-Avon.
Tonight's main news: Britain is to send military officers to Benghazi in Libya to advise the rebels fighting Colonel Gaddafi's forces. The Libyan Deputy Foreign Minister told us he considers it an act of war. We're back tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Till then, from Bridget and from me, that's Channel 4 News. Good evening.